Look at my void.
Oh my god. Okay, so we got a couple people, and we can always upload it later on YouTube. Um. Oh wait.
Please like and subscribe.
So stupid. So stupid, guys. I'm so stupid. Okay, let me pull this up on my phone so that it. Okay.
Welcome to my debut as a professional streamer.
Yes. There we go. Okay. So, I'm so bad at like starting these. Do you want to start, Will, with we wanted to address a couple of things before um we got to the actual questions. Um,
Let's introduce ourselves for people who don't know who I am. They probably know who you are. They probably don't know who I am.
this is Will. This is Will's
Hi, I'm
Duel.
Will. I'm just here to tell Red how wrong she is about everything.
Yeah, that's what he does. I tried to bully him off the site years ago, and it didn't work, and he's still here for some reason, and I don't know, you know. All right.
Oh,
So
my filter isn't working right now, Don. I don't know. Red sabotaged me.
okay. So I guess we'll just talk about a couple of things before we get into the questions. Um, did you want to talk about the junk cast videos, and you wanted to say something about that real quick?
Yes. A lot of you may not know, but so we have our VTube channel, and as you can see, we've had over the summer, which as complicated as this year has been, we've had our lecture series and our Junkcast series, and we've been a little slow at uploading those. I apologize because it's mostly my fault. Yes, you can be angry at me, just me.
Oh
I'm
no.
still working on editing and uploading a bunch of those videos, as long as help from Don and some of the other staff. So you should be seeing more videos trickling in, especially those that we are behind on as far as the lecture series and Junkcast episodes.
All right, cool. I think the other things we wanted to talk about kind of actually bleed into some of the questions now that I think about it. So why don't we just hop right into some questions and um uh yeah. So first one we wanted to talk about was Snowy says are Arma threats the characters allowed to keep making comics after being the Arma threat, win or lose? And then Futini says, or Futini, I don't know. Futini. Futini? I don't know. Um, says,
Futi?
says, is this one of those unwritten rules or something that explicitly told to be a threat when they're chosen? I don't know why I can't read or speak tonight. I'm so sorry. So I wanted to include Futini's comment. Oh my god. In that question because I just wanted to say there are no unwritten rules on Void. I feel like back in the day there was probably a lot of unwritten rules, but I really wanted to change that and not have unwritten rules anymore. So all of the rules are very clearly written out, um, and that is not a rule. So I think that the assumption that they couldn't do anything after the Arma threats win or loss just comes from people never using the characters again. But there's definitely no rule that says that you can't use the characters after Arma if they were created specifically for Arma, or if they're like our last Arma threat was obviously not specifically for Arma. It doesn't matter. They're still a dead character, so you could use them in any other way. There's no like special thing about them. So
I just want to also add that, like, in the past, because Arma's such a big thing, there's probably this idea that the Arma characters are, well, they are special characters. They are unique characters to the site. So there's probably some idea that you couldn't really use them. And there's difficulty with using them because a lot of the armor threats are shared characters. And in the past, we didn't really have like a shared character system. There was some difficulty with that, not the way we do things nowadays.
right.
So nowadays, we don't have that issue.
Yeah, so the question basically like can Shen still use Gray in a Beyond Battle or in Month of the Dead? And the answer is yes, you can, and we hope that you do. Okay.
She may be dead in real life, but she's alive in our
In
hearts.
our hearts. Yes. Um okay. The next question.
Because Void is real life.
Do you want to read the questions? Do you want to read this one?
Okay.
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. So this question comes from Sincerely Yours, Rikun. Actually, no, it just says Rikun. There seems to be a recent decline in activity lately. Is this normal? Any ideas on how we can encourage more comic and community activity here? Very good question, Rikun. Take it away, Red.
So we did clarify with Rikun like exactly what he meant because we were like, do you mean site activity or like Discord activity? And I think he kind of meant more like Discord activity. And it's really hard because people have lives and things going on. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. So like I would say it is pretty normal to have things dip and go back up. So if there's a decline in Discord activity, then I'm not gonna like worry about it that much because that's just how it would be. As far as site activity and comments and stuff, I do have something cool to show you. We have Bobo to thank for this, who brought up some data for us to look at, which is really
Oh my
cool.
god, data?
Yes, we have data to show you. So I can't really get anything as far as like Discord activity. I mean, maybe I could, but that would be really annoying. And not fun to look at. But we can show you some graphs for site activity and also comments, which I thought was really, really cool. So, I think this is working. Can you see my graph? Is that showing up?
I can see it.
Okay, there.
I am looking at your graph. It is a very sexy graph.
Yes, thank you. So, this is a graph of the comics that were completed / being drawn.
Wait to interrupt you. Some people are saying they can't see the graph. So she opened up the graph in a separate window. I don't know if you guys can see that. I can see it.
Yeah, click on my one that's like that rainbow screen of like my live, and you can see the graph there. I can also put it in the staff, in the AMA chat for you too. There you go.
Love that graph.
Yes. Okay, so this is starting from 2019. As you can see, as we go into, farther into the graph, we've got 2020 right here, which is was kind of like a low point. But then you can see at the end of this graph, we actually have a lot of comics being drawn, and that little tippy point right there is going to be last month, and it's like basically the highest point that we've had all year. So I thought that was really cool. We've got like the most comics being drawn, or like right now, which is crazy. And then we also looked up comments, and let me put that in there for you as well.
Also, congratulations to everyone making this such a successful and active time. It's we haven't had this much activity in such a long time.
Yeah. This is comments since 2019. So you can see it kind of dips a little bit in the beginning of the year, and I think that's kind of when quarantine started. So I don't.
When the world went to hell.
Yeah, I can't really blame anybody for being like, I should come in on Void, and the world is imploding, So that makes sense to me, at least. But then you can see it goes way, way up, and then obviously we're only a few days into November, so the bar for November is pretty low right now. But October is a record high for the year, so we do have a lot of people commenting. And then the 2 months before are also really high. So I thought that was really nice to see, just it's really hard to tell just by looking at the site, like how many comments are actually happening, or even looking at an individual comic. But yeah, so we do have a lot of good activity going on, which is cool. So we thought we would just show you that. And
yes, just to confirm, as someone was saying in the chat, it is comments per month. Each bar represents month and year.
Yeah, exactly. So this is this first bar here would be January of 2019, and the very last one is this month, which is why it is so teensy tiny. But yeah, so I like showing data and graphs like this, so I think we'll probably pull up some more stuff for you guys in the future. I think that would be fun. Um, but yeah, so I guess to answer your question, um, we can try to do more things to get more people like on the site, like I mean on Discord, but I'm not super worried about Discord. I'm more worried about what's happening on the site itself. Um, there's also a lot of comics being drawn right now, so I don't think a lot of people have a lot of time to just be chatting and killing time. So I think that's basically what's going on. So, yes.
So I also wanted to add to another part because as Rikun asked this question in the AMA, they were also referring not just to the site activity but community activity on the Discord. And as staff, we discuss a lot of events and some of this other stuff. So there are plans to do more events on the Discord. Like we already have stuff like the drink and draws and the lectures, which hopefully we will continue to do more of that. We still have Cozy Spoon doing her drunk casts, which hopefully that will continue also into the future. But we were also thinking of other events we could do, like maybe game night, like everybody loves Among Us right now. I like it a lot. I'm not, despite my name, I'm not the imposter. Um,
Mm.
so we could have like an Among Us game night. We could do. Arts had suggested we could play the some of the YouTube sites that do like sketch drawing and figure drawing. So there are more events that we can do and are planning to do on the Discord,
Mhm.
uh, just so people also continue to have a good time.
Yeah. Totally. All right. Let's move on
Do you want?
to the next question. Um, we've got one from Batty, and they say, "Are there any plans for a Voider of the Month submission from the community? Like the community as a whole nominates someone, or is it just going to be strictly staff chosen?" So it is going to be strictly staff chosen. The community votes are saved for the best of Void. Um, so yeah, that was another thing that we wanted to talk about was the best of Void. So we can kind of touch on that as well. Um, but as far as like the Voider of the Month thing, I think it's a really cute, cool idea. That's just going to be a nice little thing, and we'll see how it goes. And maybe we can adjust it in the future. But for now, it's just going to be random staff member just gets to pick someone that was exceptional that month. So, and not even that month either. Like you could pick someone that was exceptional maybe a few months ago, and you want to just give them recognition. You know what I mean? Um, but
So yeah,
anyway,
we'll be seeing more information on it this week. So
yeah,
expect that announcement to come.
that was kind of like Deji's thing. So we're gonna let them handle most of that. So more information will be coming on that. But we did want to talk about the best of Void a little bit. So I think in the first staff AMA we did get some questions about that, and we fully acknowledged that it wasn't the best that it could have been, like organizational wise, and like on our end, we kind of like dropped the ball a little bit, and that was just because it was just it's a lot of work, and it was just we all have our own lives, and it was just hard to like get it going. But I just wanted to say that this year we are going to take your feedback into consideration. We're going to start earlier and start thinking about like ways we can get it going so that right at the end of December we can start planning that and making it run smoother this time. So just wanted to let everyone know about that, that is a thing that we are thinking about.
So get ready for Best of Void 2020 Pandemic Edition.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to read the chat as well.
I nominate Justin. I don't know what I'm nominating him for, but he's getting nominated.
Yes. Okay. All right. Do you want to read the next question? And I can answer.
Sure.
Yes.
This question comes from community member Ravana, who cannot be here with us at this moment. But Ravana, this question's for you. Okay, here is a serious one, because the other questions aren't as serious. Would staff ever consider giving slightly higher points to collabs, since they seem to bear some weight in co-op tournaments, i.e. Arma? I was told that collabs have significantly less points weight in them than actual battles. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, Red, would you like to correct her?
So when I read this question, I was like kind of confused about what she meant, but then I kind of figured it out. So the question is, I mean, the answer is kind of yes and no. Um, so we did go over this before, but just as a reminder, the way that your overall score is calculated is three parts, and they are all of equal weight. The first one is your win to loss ratio. The second one is like the actual scores that you get from the community from your comics. And the last one is just the total number of comics that you have done. And those all are weighed equally. So, why are you making that face? um, so, if if your question is about like a collaborative comic, let's say like William Duel and I team up to do a Beyond battle that is collaborative and features our two characters or whatever, um, it would technically like give you less points just because it is a Beyond battle and there's nothing like there's no win or loss at stake, so you wouldn't be getting the potential win from a collaborative comic like that. Um, so that's the only way that a collaborative comic could like count less. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Because at first I was like, that kind of seems counterintuitive to like what we're going for, right? Because we want people to like collaborate and do that kind of stuff. But when you do a collaborative Beyond battle, there's no time limit. You can take as long as you want. You can make it really polished. Um, there's no threat of potentially losing. So you can make your score and your quality is probably going to be higher. So yeah, you're not going to get the win loss or the win loss ratio isn't going to go up because you're not winning anything. But you will get it added on to your total number of comics, which will make your score go up. But if you were asking if it was like me and William Duel versus like Nina and Justin, that counts exactly the same. There's no like weird score division or something like that. That would just count like a regular battle. So I hope that answers your question. I think that you were maybe confusing a couple of things, but we weren't intentionally making collaborative comics count less. It's just kind of the way the system was set up. And when the system was set up like 100,000 years ago, collaborative comics weren't really a thing that people did. And that kind of led us to thinking like, well, should we revise how the scores are calculated and like the weight of each thing? And the answer to that is yes, I think we should, but I don't want to like I don't take something like that lightly. I want to like really again look at data and see, okay, if we adjusted this to weigh a little bit more, weigh a little bit less, maybe we can make collaborative comics weigh a little bit more. How would that affect scores overall? Would it seem fair? So I am open to that. It's going to be a lot of work to like make it right in my mind. But yeah, I think that it's a really good point. I think that we should be encouraging more people to do collaborative stuff and rewarding them in that way. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that because it kind of it made me realize something that I never even thought of before. So yeah, thank you so much for asking that.
So what I understood from all of this is that me and Red are going to collab battle Nina and Justin. They're on board with it in the chat.
Oh, really?
So there
Oh,
we go.
hell yeah.
You've confirmed. We've confirmed it. Let's do it.
Yes.
Collab battle. Gonna take Justin and Nina down. Finally, gonna knock them down a peg.
I hope that made sense. Like, sometimes I like say things and I'm like, was that dumb? But I hope that answers your question. But if you have any more follow-ups to that, Ravana, please let me know. Okay. Snow says it made sense. Okay. Okay. We can move on.
All right, moving on.
We're moving on.
Did you want to read the question and I will answer?
Sure. Futini, however, is saying,
It's French. I'm pretty sure it's French.
what are the specific criteria staff looks for when choosing tournament participants? What is the level of skill expected for events that produce high quality comics like tag team or heavyweight? And Will had a really good response to this, so take it away, my friend.
All right. So the deal is that like the needs of each tourney are very different from each other. Like yes, as we had like gone over at the start of all this AMA stuff, Arma is our strictest approach. It's the one that we pay the most attention to. We have the strictest process for that one. But most of the other times, for most tournaments, it really just depends on activity and recent record. That is mainly what we look at for most tournaments. But even that changes when we have tournaments that have different goals, such as like having the express goal of having more newbies be active. Like so, it really just depends on what the tournament is and what it's about and what are the needs at the time of that tournament. So there's not really much of a blanket. Every tournament is like this, but the biggest thing I would say is just activity and record.
Yeah. The only thing I really wanted to add to that is like I think sometimes there's some assumption that you have to be like the best artist ever and just like you know like killing it every single time. Um, and I just want to remind everyone that I think that effort is more important than like your actual drawing ability. So if you're like putting in the work every single time and like you're doing your best and it shows, then that's definitely going to like count and we're going to notice that and we're going to be like okay, they can deliver in this tournament. Because something that is important to me in like picking people is like you want to have someone that you think is going to deliver and bring their all, right? Cuz it sucks when you get into a tournament and then like your opponent um just defaults or they just like turn in something like a couple of like unfinished pages. It's just like disappointing if you yourself put in all of this effort and like that happened to me like my very first void battle. I was like I put my heart into it, like I tried so hard and my opponent just like had a couple of sketchy pages and it's like damn, that sucks. So we really want to put people in tournaments that we um, feel confident about giving it their all and doing the best of their personal ability. So we're not just like picking our favorite people or being like, wow, they can draw like, super well. They don't even have to try. They just, um, so
My
yeah.
favorite person is me, and as you can see, I've been in all the tournaments.
Yeah, honestly, like when Will tries to get into tournaments, I'm like, okay, I know that you're my friend, but no, you have such a bad record, my dude. I'm so sorry. We're not letting Will in.
I
So
keep trying, and Red just keeps ejecting me from tournaments.
yeah, it sucks, and I hate picking for tournaments because like I, care about I feel bad about the people that we don't let in, and it's very, very difficult. So, yeah, I really just don't want people to think that we're, you know, picking out of a hat or picking people that we like. Not saying that I like Will, because I don't.
This is true. I mean, we know this.
Um,
We're really enemies. This is our enemy AMA,
yes.
as you can see. But before that, I also want to add another note too about tournaments in general. So like I would say, not really an exact statistic here, but like half of our event types, excluding like Arma and Heavyweight, which are mainstays of the site, a lot of these are user submitted, whether it's from the staff or the community. So sometimes staff will discuss. We'll discuss some tournament ideas, but we also take into consideration user submitted ideas. So we've only recently just like caught up on ideas that we've been holding on to for like years. Like Toontown was like Korn's idea. That took a while to come around. Although that's an example. So we welcome new community-driven ideas. If you guys have ideas for tournaments, please continue to share them with us. But also keep in mind that there's only so much we can do like per year. So sometimes you might not see your tournament idea come into the rotation for a while.
Yeah.
But yes, please give us more ideas to work with.
Yeah, we're just here to facilitate, what you guys want to do and make sure it runs as smoothly as possible. You know, yeah.
So I'm all for Fucini's idea here, the William Duel Royale. Everybody fights me except I can't join. Perfect.
Wait, let me
Let's do that.
up on the comments here. The graph didn't go back that far, just 2019. Yeah, I do have the data that goes farther back than 2019. I just didn't think it was very interesting. But I can tell you what it kind of looked like as far as like comments um and everything. So there was a huge spike in 2006 when the site was like super popular and very new, and it kind of went down, 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 down for a while. And then it definitely went back up in more recent years. So I can share that with you. I just thought it was more relevant to show this year versus previous year because a lot of people weren't even around in 2006, and I don't think it's really relevant to anything at this point. But also, you have to remember that in way later, or like 2006 or whatever, Discord didn't exist. So you have to remember that now there's a lot of messages and stuff being put here and not on the site. So I think that us moving away from the forums and more into Discord has definitely contributed to a decline in people posting comments because it's just easier to put it here. So that's something we can keep in mind, but I can show you the graphs later. Wait,
of data.
back further. That was related to a previous point.
So it's related to Sai's earlier question, which they had asked, like, is it overall comments that are looked at? And Bobo had answered basically that it was just a quick data fetch. That we weren't exactly lining this data up against like which events were happening when.
Yeah, I mean we could dig further. There are SKUs not being accounted for. People commenting multiple times in their own comics. I mean, I guess that could be a factor, but I mean, it's so hard to say. This was just like pulling the raw numbers. Sorry, I'm
raw numbers. I love raw numbers.
Bots commenting on comics? What? Type comics.
Ignore us. So says Bobo.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to like. There was like so much stuff that was in there, and I'm like, what's going on? Okay. Does anyone have any other questions we can really talk about real quick? Because I think that was the last one, right?
We can just talk about me for an hour. How cool I am.
Yes.
How sexy my voice is.
All right, we'll give it like a couple minutes here to see, because favorite Taco Bell hot sauce. I'm gonna say mild because I'm a baby and I can't handle spicy. Um, I want to handle more spicy, but I can't. I'm just a
Well,
baby.
this is Taco Bell sauce. Like I use fire because it
Several
isn't even
people are
hot enough.
typing.
Fire is like the weakest one, and it's supposed to be the hottest one.
Well, I'm very, very white. I don't know if you've noticed that about me.
What? Oh my god! This whole time, wow!
To
I didn't know
answer
this.
the ghost pepper question, I no, I've never eaten a ghost pepper. Again, I'm extremely white, and I think I would pass away immediately. I would just start choking and dying. I can eat like I can eat a tiny little like less than your
Never done
pinky
that was
nail
awful.
size of like a jalapeno. I can eat that, and I'll probably cry. So, that's how white I am.
Are you white red? I
Red,
gotta think
white,
about
no
this.
way. Um,
I thought
actual
you were.
question. How many tournaments are usually done per year? What, and I'm sorry, I can't read anymore. And would increased interest in signups in them lead to letting more people into events? Like the next TTD had 16 teams instead of 8. Um,
So I want to answer a little bit of that because
yeah.
we like it's not a perfect science in that every year we sort of have to adjust, and we've had different parts of staff who have pushed for more tournaments per year, overlapping tournaments, and different tournament types. And so we've had years where things did not really work out. Like there was one year where we just had straight up
2017 or 18? 2018.
yeah, we had straight up like SDTs like for a year, and that made everybody very unhappy.
Yeah.
Uh, so we usually try to go for balance. We have the biggest big tournaments, like for example Arma, excuse me, or heavyweight, and then we try to put little or smaller events in between, like ones that we know will only have like 8 people. We have tried in before tournaments that have tried to accept like everybody who signs up, and it gets really messy. And oftentimes those sort of tournaments have like 2 winners at once, but I would say they're a bit controversial
Yeah.
as far as that format. So we're always trying to adjust. We're trying to make the most people happy. We can't make everyone happy, and while we would like to have overlapping tournaments sometimes, like Bo says, there are times when people try to do every single tournament, and they really aren't happy when tournaments overlap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Justin has asked. Oh, sorry.
I don't know how many tournaments exactly we don't aim for like a set amount, but we try to like at least space them out a little bit to give people some like cooldown time, because when we had the like year of constant tournaments, the thing that we were facing was just burnout from people, because
Yeah, there's a
it
lot of
was too
burnout.
much. We started new ones before like the other ones were like even done cooling down or were like still being voted on. And yeah, we're definitely open to like trying new things. Like I absolutely am. I think that that year was a really good experiment to see how it went, and I don't think it went as well as we had
Yeah.
hoped for. So, yeah, the other thing that you mentioned about like the 2 winners thing, I can personally say that having the 2 winners just it sucks because um, what was the one? I don't even remember what it was now. It was the tag team, the first tag team or whatever. So, nobody remembers that like me and Dr. Salt were like the other winners, you know?
Yeah.
So it was
That they
like,
were overshadowed. You
yeah,
guys were
we were
overshadowed by
completely overshadowed, and I mean like kind of rightfully so, because like they Jaime and Tinman did like a really great job and everyone remembers those comics or whatever. But having the two winners, there's always going to be the other team that's just like, we won too, but nobody cares. So,
Sputini asks, like, why can't we just have them fight in the final round? Because that would
it was so
greatly
long,
extend the
dude.
length of the tournaments. There would
Dude,
be so much more burnout.
it was like when you get to that final round, you just want it to be like over with, and you have to. It's so much. Like we did so many comics before that, and like, yeah, we did plan on like unofficially fighting, but then it just like never happened. But we were so ready to like be done with it. You know, it's getting to the final round of a tournament is like you just are like dragging your dead body over the finish line at the end. So
Well, like that was the complaint some people had about the recent one, Great Escalations, which I was a strong supporter of the idea, but some people who were involved in that did feel it was too long at 4 rounds.
yeah, that's the thing is it's just gonna be you're just gonna be tired, and then it's just gonna result in comics that aren't as good, you know. So you know,
And also, I do want to point out that Pyrus is the one who helps us the most with organizing the tournament schedule. He's usually in charge of putting forth the calendar, so
oh
that
yeah,
is something that we do. Is we stare at the calendar and are like, where the fuck do we put all of these?
yeah. He just helps like visually like place it on the calendar. He doesn't like actually select what is happening.
No, no,
It's more
yeah,
like a
it's
yeah. I
he's
think
not the grand poobah.
no, 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 no. He just helps us like plan out the dates and like makes a visual calendar that's like easy to understand. So yeah, we all kind of plan on what we're gonna do, and then he just like plops it on there, and we're like, that looks good, you know. So yeah, he helps a lot
Yeah,
with that.
and Justin has asked when will there be another under new management tournament. I do like that tournament type, so that is also in consideration. Love Child Tourney 2.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we
I
are
love
all
Love
kind of
Child
thinking about
too.
that.
Yes, it's so fun. It's just so silly. It's like just I know that you guys love to ship and you like to make the love childs. It's the perfect flavor for Void in my opinion. It's so like self-indulgent and silly that I feel like people can just have so much fun with it. Like I am all for it. So, I hear you, but it's not all up to me. I will just say that I would love to read those comics, especially with this new group of people we have.
Don
Um,
says, when is there going to be a staff tourney? We fight for admin. Well, we can't do that because I would win. So, the reason we don't do that is because they don't want me to take power.
that's true. Will is just too powerful. I would love
Yeah,
to
Don.
do a staff tournament. I think that would be pretty funny. Um, I don't really have time, so I just do like a one pager. Um, when it defaulting. All right. Are there any other questions or comments or anything that you guys have? Look, we've only been doing this for 40 minutes. That's not too bad. Oh, we got another one.
Oh.
I'm waiting. Type it
Well,
up.
I could talk about how cool I am. I'm cooler than Don. I'm cooler than Nina. Uh, Nina said she killed me
Gross.
once.
No rights.
You know, Nina may have killed one of my characters before, but I still beat her in DDR.
That's true. Oh, okay. So we got another question. Can you borrow characters for non-event battles provided the owner allows it? Yes, you can. Um, the only way we're going to tell you you can't do it is in like specific tournament situations. And we will specify in the rules if you can borrow another person's character or not in that tournament, and it kind of just depends on like what the prize is, basically. Like for a resurrection tournament, I would say you definitely can't borrow another person's character. I feel like you would have to fight for your own character's life. Like that's an instance where I would say no. But like if you came to me and you were like, "Oh, I want to draw a Samadas comic," like for a battle against someone, and I was like, sure, dude, if you want to draw that guy, go for it. You have my permission. That's totally cool. You can borrow anyone's character, as long as we have their explicit permission that it is okay, you can do whatever the hell you want. Go
No, so
crazy.
we just asked, but we just asked, is that actually how you pronounce the character's name? It isn't. It's in,
Sommidus? Yes. So I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna blow your mind. Sommidus is from saying like, do you want some of this? Like, you want to take me? Like, you want some of this? You want some of this? That's how the name
some of
came.
this.
Yeah, so it's Sommidus, which is stupid as hell. Um, Don's like, I love it. Um,
I've been drawing my comic against some of this for 2 years now. One of these days
yes.
it'll be done.
The thing
It'll
about
be
the BBs
amazing.
with Arma losers was answered. Yeah, the short answer is yes. They are just like any other dead character, so you can use them. Um, yeah. I usually have Will name my characters, because I'm bad at naming things, but I came up with Sommidus, because it was just
I kind of
secretly
like
a
planted
dumb
that one.
name. Yeah, he implanted it in my brain. But yeah, now you all know the secret of my stupid character's name. Um.
I did name Sarah Bloodslam.
Oh yeah, he did name Sarah Bloodslam and Moa Goetia. Um. Yeah, he's my go-to character name. Because I'm just like, I don't know.
I'm her human name generator.
Your affection has been misplaced all these years, Art. Alright, anything else? Justin says, Will, can you name my next character?
Yes, farts. Go with it.
Yes, there you go. I missed Don's question?
What was Don's question? About how cool I am?
Oh, wait. Can we clear up the confusion of the previous possible loophole of doing artist matches with annihilated characters? Can you
Cool,
can
what?
you not do that?
No, you can't. So Annihilation is the level of Beyond Death. So technically, you can't use those characters at all.
Oh, but they're saying a loophole of doing like an artist match with no character and drawing your annihilated character. Don't do that. That's a silly loophole. No. You lost. Your guy's super dead.
Oh, Nina's question for me: Will, can you stop? The answer is no. Never stopping. Keep on trucking.
Can another artist put annihilated character in their comic as long as the character is not listed, like as a cameo? I would say yes, because it's just a cameo. You could also easily write that off as like it's in the past or it's a flashback. It doesn't mean that they're annihilated from like existence. Um, you just
I
can't.
mean, so the point of Annihilation is it's a level more severe than death, than the death status. So it means like you can't put that character into anything that would give you points towards that character.
Yeah,
Is
but
the
I'm
way out.
saying that like if Sommidus was annihilated and you drew a comic and you had Sommidus in it, you could still do that as William Duel.
Yeah,
But like me as Red, like
because that's me.
I think it would be or maybe are you saying like if I drew like a TL bot comic and then I like had Sommidus in it for some reason, like I guess technically you could, but I think probably you'd get called out for being maybe a poor
Sure.
sport. Um if your guy's annihilated, then they're annihilated. Um so yeah. I hope that nobody tries to like bend the rules that much and kind of yeah. Let's see. What if Don had a winner's foot and I took what? What is that?
What?
A winner's foot? Cozy, what are you talking about? What if
Whoa,
he had?
whoa.
Oh,
We're into Don's feet now.
oh wait, Don
That's a
had a
very
winner's foot.
specific.
Oh, so if Don,
Ah,
okay, it had a windscrew and I took it and drew it. Um,
Cozy does have a Don foot fetish.
No.
Very.
No, I mean, it just wouldn't be able to be used at all in any, like, official capacity. You could... Basically, the character can't be used in any sort of way beyond battles or whatever in, like, as it listing as, like, a officially a character that is participating in that comic. You just, like, can't do it. We can't really stop you from, like, sticking them in the background or whatever. That's whatever. Um, but if you're trying to, like, really get around it, like, if like Somidus was annihilated and I drew like a TL bot comic, but clearly like Somidus was like the main character, then I think we would not allow that. I really hope that nobody would ever take it to that extreme, but I mean, maybe we can add that into the rules. That would be really poor sportsmanship, I would say. Yeah, I just think that it just can't be used in any way.
Gaston summed it up. Cameos. Chill. Original artist trying to loophole to use their annihilated character. Not cool. Default likely.
Yeah.
Seems like a good thanks.
I don't want to like force default people. Like, don't you know, don't test us on that kind of thing.
Test me.
I
I'll
really
default
don't want to like default somebody, but you know, it is a tournament. I mean, it is a competition site, and we do have rules. And if we don't stick to the rules, then the competition is just sort of BS. Because if we don't stick to the rules, then the competition isn't fun anymore. You know, so you have to accept that you entered an annihilation match and you lost, and you have to live with the consequences of that. So, I would definitely fight back against any sort of loopholes that I saw, and I do appreciate anybody mentioning potential loopholes so that I can try to close them. I do try to think of that sort of thing so that I can add more rules in to cover our asses.
So funny fact. A lot of the rules are there because I broke them at some point.
Oh my god. I mean, unfortunately, we do have to add in some stuff if people get a little silly. All right. Justin just realized that trophy matches don't exist anymore. That is correct, Justin. We took trophy matches away because they were a little bit too messy to deal with. Putrid says
nobody else knows what a trophy match is.
Yeah, that was like instead of a scar match, you would take something from the other character, and it was kind of like I don't know, let's say my character had like a signature hat or something. It would be like the trophy would be like you would lose the hat and the other person would have it. So it was kind of like a scar match, but like for
With
items,
objects.
and it was really kind of vague and not used very much, and it was like kind of stupid. Yeah,
And the
just
fact
because
is,
they did
people
seem
can.
pointless.
The thing is, people can change the design at like any time, really. So it's kind of like.
Yeah, it was something that the like ancient founding members made as like a funny idea, but I don't think that that was really thought through very well. So we got rid of that a while ago, and no one has really cared except for right now when Justin is realizing.
Justin. It's only Justin who cares
But
about
Justin's
it.
been around for like 100,000 years, so yeah, they were kind of pointless. I wish that there was a better way to have them, but yeah. Um. Oh wait, was there another one? Change your character's name on the site. And I think Bobo answered that. You should be able to change your character's name on the character edit page. So yeah, you can change your character's name. That is allowed. Yeah. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm trying to read the chat.
We could talk about some William Duel factoids. William Duel factoid number 1. Yes, I am taller than you.
William Duel factoid number 2. That is the shirt that he was wearing when I first met him, and then he just wears the same shirt every single time that we interact for literally years. Same shirt. I don't know if it's actually the same shirt or if he just has like 100 of the same shirt, but it's that shirt. That is the William Duel shirt. Let's see.
Every picture I'm in with red, this is the shirt I'm wearing.
Yep.
So this way you can't tell when it happened. It's always.
How tall are you actually? Like six,
Oh, I'm 6'4".
6'4"? Dang it. Okay. Oh, wait, another question? If someone updates a reference sheet again after receiving a scar, how much are they allowed to alter the design? Are they allowed to change the look as long as the scar is not affected? And can you scar a character to lose another scar? Okay. So scar matches are something that I've wanted to define better for like a while now, but it's really difficult because there's kind of a balance of like being very strict with what is a scar um, and what you can do with the scar as far as like altering your character to like when you update your design sheet, like how are you going to interpret the scar, um, and then on the other hand there is the freedom of creativity with a scar, getting more abstract with what a scar can be, because there has been some cases where people had like a mental scar, giving people like trauma from things that happened. Um,
But we
and
tried to like define the scar rules a little bit more
we did.
in such a way. We rewrote the scar rules basically
I don't know if we
because we have
actually.
trouble.
I don't know if we actually implemented all of the things that we were talking about, but staff themselves have been talking about how to more clearly define what a scar is. The thing that I
I do
don't
want
want to
to
do
answer.
is read a comic, like reviewing it before it's posted and being like, wow, this comic's really good, but it doesn't meet all the criteria of like what a scar is supposed to be, and having to decline you for that. That just feels shitty. Um, so it's been
This
really.
answers. Sorry, just answer Snowy's question. Snowy's asking, why do scars have to be physical? Why can't they be mental only? And the problem with that is we can't keep track of that at all. Like the point of a scar is that there is a change to the design sheet that we can keep track of. So if it's mental, then that's we have no say whatsoever in that. Like it's does that carry forward in your comics? Is that something that reflects in your stories? Like you can just totally ignore it for the next one, and then you move forward.
Right. So now they're bringing up
The
the
pregnancy,
scar of
the pregnancy one always comes up.
So it was so weird because there was another character that a long time ago somebody tried to scar with like a pregnancy, and then it was ruled, this was like a million years ago, ruled that that wasn't a scar, and I think that like was not counted or something. And then the next day that comic came out, and um I was like, oh my god, this is coming up again. And that's kind of what prompted the discussion about like what is a scar, and we realized that it wasn't really super defined because obviously, yeah, the a pregnancy would only last for like a few months or
9 months.
whatever. But then I was like, okay, well, you could also roll that into a different sort of physical scar. Like you could have a cesarean section scar, or like, oh yeah, Cozy's saying it, like stretch marks or something. That could be a scar, because that's a physical change to your design. Um,
Not pregnant forever.
yeah, so I think that doing things like that is pretty funny and clever, and the same with like a mental scar. I think there was, I forget which character it was, but it was like the scar was like they went back in time or something, and then like all of their family like didn't know them anymore or something like that, and it was like really horrible, and it wasn't really like a change to the design, it was just like a change to like the character themselves and like their storyline. And the thing
Like
is,
it was cool, but it was kind of like, well, it doesn't fall into the purview of what we consider a scar.
right, and it was like you're supposed to be changing the character's design sheet, and since there's no like canon in Void, um, you could easily ignore that if you wanted. Um, it's really difficult when you like really get into like thinking about how to define a scar exactly. It's something that has been like a struggle because even if you think the answer to this is
forever.
obvious, it's definitely not obvious, and I definitely want to make things as fair as possible. But this one's really it's really difficult. But the actual question was about like changing the design sheet to fit your new scar. So that's actually not super clearly defined either. So I would say right now there's no like um, hard rule on like how much you can change it. Like if you lost an arm, you could definitely get a prosthetic arm or some other way to like get around that. That's allowed. Um, it's it's very difficult. It's very difficult to say like, um, oh, what if my character regrew their arm? Then, uh, you know, it's not really within the spirit of the match type. Um, I don't really have an answer for that, and I can't even tell you how long we've been discussing this and trying to define exactly where the line is. Because something that I also don't want is to have this like kind of blurry line that says like we will review each one. I would rather have like really concrete things for you guys to be like this is okay and this isn't okay. But there's so many ways to interpret different scars and what you could do and so many imaginative ways to deal with things that it's really hard to just like pinpoint um, what is allowed. But I think for now I would say as artists in the community, if you get a scar, you should look at it and say, would another member of the community looking at this think that I'm handling this in like a sportsman-like way? Am I ignoring the scar too much? Why are you giving me a thumbs up? Are you just agreeing with me?
Supporting your statements.
Okay. I think that for now, until we can come up with a better way, just try to deal with it the best way as possible. I wouldn't ignore or downplay anything. I would accept your scar and roll with it, get creative with it, but don't try to minimize it. I would say just accept your loss and incorporate it into a new fun way. I would say. So I'm sorry if that's kind of a wishy-washy answer, but I really don't don't have the best.
What I'm hearing is
you.
we should have another Scarmageddon is what I'm hearing.
Oh my god.
More Scarmageddons.
No. My god. I'm sorry. I hope that was okay. Having the rules really clearly defined is very important to me. So I definitely want to keep working on it. I just can't get the rules right. Mr. Kent is in here saying yes. I'm the only that Mr. Kent is the only person that like I ever did a scar match, and I like took away Raygun's eye, and I was like so scared about it. I was like, I feel so bad taking his eye. I'll just give him an eye patch. Felt so bad.
We could all just scar match TL bot, give him all the scars.
Oh god, no, that would be too sad. Alright,
There's also an era of void matches where it was just by arm. So we've had, everybody loses an arm, everyone loses an eyeball.
Yeah. Oh, Cozy says you can regram the arm if you want to be shitty. Yeah. I think there's just some sort of level of you can there's no canon on void, so you can kind of do whatever you want. I just think that like you're gonna be better liked and respected in the community, and people are gonna want to engage with you more if you just kind of are a good sport about things. I guess that's really all I can say. All right. Let's see. What else? What else do you got, guys? A guy was turned into a robot once. Yes.
The guy was turned into a giant pink bunny once too.
Yeah. I don't like scar matches personally because um
Oh, the green gorilla. Yes, that
if
was
they get
cool.
too weird, then it's just like you just kind of if you like ruin the character, then people are just gonna like not use the character. Um, so that's another thing. Like if you do want to do a scar match, I would definitely talk to the person that you're fighting and be really explicit of like you know what exactly you're gonna do and what it's gonna look like, and make sure that everything is like cool with everyone, or don't and just go crazy. Um, what the? What are you guys saying? I too is blinded.
Don's gone insane. I'm so Don. Go to get your baby jail.
Someone
That's
was
it.
given a vagina once. What? What is happening? Yeah, Justin gave a really nasty scar back in the day that I always think about, and basically he gave a scar that was so bad he ruined the character, and the person like left the site forever. That was
There have been a
their
few
last
of those.
thing was Justin. It was like a second head, and they had like matching Vanilla Ice haircuts. What was the person though? It was like a famous actor.
Yeah, it was Vanilla Ice
No, it was
attached.
Paul Reiser was connected
Oh,
to the character's like shoulder, and they both got matching Vanilla Ice
that's right.
haircuts. Oh
I
my
remember
god.
that incorrectly.
And then when we thought about that, we were like, oh, well, what about a scar that's like a temporary scar? Like if you gave somebody a bad haircut, then hair can grow back. So there's so many things with scar matches that like
Unless you're
make
anime,
me
and hair
absolutely
never grows.
insane. Because I just love to define things exactly so that it's so clear. But with scar matches, there's just so many things, and I'm like, ugh! So yeah, I hate them. Rule number one: avoid. Don't be a Karen.
Karen.
How would you deal with a haircut scar? Um, God. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, do you have to draw some comics with the bad haircut, and then you can just say it grows out? Like, it's so like, and also like, I don't
I
want
was
to
also
restrict people too much. Like, do you have to draw like your next thing with like a bad haircut, and then the next one you could be like, oh, it grew out? Like, there's just so many things to consider. Um, so yeah, I'm begging you, actually begging you, if you're doing a scar match right now, just make it something physical and permanent, because that's like the best way to define it. Um,
no. One more that the Paul Reiser one reminded me of is AC Me and Beethoven. Excellent comics.
oh my
Please look them up.
god,
They
yes.
did they got attached to a like random like Indian boy, like because there were two characters that were fused together. This little girl and this wolf are like fused together. So the scar match they were in, they lost, and they got attached to a random like Indian boy who just happened to be there. So then they were just like three-way characters now.
Oh my god, I fought them back in the day. Oh my god.
Good comics, one of my favorites.
Yeah. Um. All right. Anything else you guys got for us?
AC Me. I'll spell it in the chat.
One of those is right. I fought them a very long time ago. I think they were my first loss, actually. Or maybe it was Cozy was my first loss.
My first emotional loss was Red. When I came to the website, she was so mean to me. Like, no lie, she was very mean to me.
Stop. Well, you were being ridiculous, and I had to like put my foot down. William Duel was using like real photos that he altered in Photoshop as backgrounds for comics, and I was like, no way. I don't know who you are, but you're not going to come here and use a photo for a background that you altered in Photoshop. You didn't draw that. I can tell. I can tell that's a photo that you took from
She
somewhere.
tore me apart. She like hunted
And
me down and tore me apart.
but the thing is, like, I gave you that like critique or whatever, and then you completely ignored me the first time, and you kept doing it, and I was like, oh, really? And I was like, I gotta get mean now. It was so funny.
My whole motivation for doing comics was I gotta get back at Red. She was mean to me. I gotta make cool comics and show her I can. Because
Red
she was
hated
like,
me when I first joined staff. Bobo, yeah, I think I bumped
Red
heads
told me I
with
couldn't draw comics.
I bumped heads with Bobo a little bit. That did happen. But now we're cool. But we just didn't really like understand each other's boundaries, I think. And now it's fine, and I would die for Bobo, and I appreciate them so much, and I'm sorry that we ever fought in the past. I'm truly very sorry. I'll never apologize to Will, though. We will always be mortal enemies to the death.
Mortal enemies and rivals forever.
I wouldn't say I hated you, Bobo. You just made me mad.
Everyone makes Red mad at some point.
Sai is asking, if you took your own photo, would that be acceptable, though? You're still creating the background, but in another way.
I mean, we have had photo comics on Void, so yes. Like, if a photo is something that you took, that is still your artistic like IP.
Yeah.
And we've had there's a comic from back in the day that was literally just two members of the community taking photos of each other in like DBZ poses.
That was pretty silly. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I think that people would probably strongly dislike it. I don't know if Will was taking your own photos. Do you remember? Were you taking your own photos, or were you pulling them from like Google or something?
I remember it was probably Google.
Okay, then that would be against the rules. Yeah, I think it was like a common technique like used in like manga of like taking the photo and then altering it to kind of look like it was a drawing, like making it black and white. So I think that's what he was doing. But this was like 2007 or something. Like
it which I admit it was a totally legitimate criticism because at that point I couldn't draw backgrounds. I was hiding the fact that I couldn't draw backgrounds, and Red rightfully called me out. But even if she rightfully called me out, I still swore vengeance, and I still have a blood debt to fulfill.
That's true. I mean, you gotta. That is another thing. I will stick to that. Maybe I was a little bit harsh because I was mad that you ignored what I said. Because back in the day, we used to have like, the incubator was like on the forum or whatever, and I was like the mod of the incubator. So it was basically like I was telling you how to get into Void as the mod of the incubator, and you were like, you didn't even acknowledge me. And I was like, no, you're not submitting photos. Not gonna happen. And I think I was like, prove me wrong then. And then he did, which was great. That was the best outcome.
I remember you said, you will never be able to draw comics. That is literally what you told. You said, you basically were like, you can't draw.
Oh, wait. Bobo says, I was referring to how you were mad that I didn't put in the work to become staff because Toast made me the admin out of nowhere so I could help with the development stuff.
I like how this anime is turning into this whole Red accountable stuff she said to us in the past. I'm enjoying this. Yes, let's continue. What are our grievances against?
No, I was upset at that because it was like out of nowhere. Bobo was like, "Hello, I'm an admin now," and I was like, "Wait, what?" But I mean, they were made admin to like help with the development of the site and take over the things that Toast was doing, which like totally made sense. But then I think like a lot of people were just going right to Bobo and like going over everyone else's heads. And then I was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. I'm like, what is happening? But then we worked that out. But yeah. I think
they took over
it
the
did
site.
kind of like seem sketchy to other people as well because it was like all of a sudden Bobo was like an admin and then people were like, what? Oh yeah, I did go rogue a bit at first. It's okay, Bobo. We don't even have to talk about it. I totally forgive you. We've totally worked out our differences.
Kristen was an admin? What?
This is just like me apologizing for being mean. I'm not mean. I just don't like people being rude.
Are you a rude enough dude to save the president?
No. You are though.
This is true.
Red is not
I mean,
mean. I love her. 100% teasing. Listen, I don't think I'm
I'm never
mean.
teasing.
I just don't want to take shit, you know? I don't want to take
So-
shit. I don't want to take shit from Bobo. I don't want to take shit from William Duel.
Come at me, bro. I'm right here. Come at me.
I can't be 100% soft. I have to have like a little bit of backbone. Just a little bit. I'm not mean. I'll fight you. Shut up. 51-minute
Oh,
Red
we're
apology
only 3
video.
hours.
Yes.
We're only 3 hours away, Red. Come at me.
What else can I apologize for? Nothing. A little spice. Alright, does anyone else have any actual questions? Because now I think we're just, devolving into...
I think we were long past the devolution point.
We were only serious for like 5 minutes and then we just kind of, descended into madness, I think. How can we embarrass Red more? Please don't.
Oh, I have an important question.
Extremely sensitive, Bobo, please. What's your
Red, I have an important question. So, your cat Boxer, great hero or greatest hero?
I think he's the greatest hero. I think you know that.
Right answer. Boxer is the greatest hero.
His Arma 2020 Arma Defenders versus Red and William Duel. That would be, I'm just too tired to even, like, consider that. I can't even, like, imagine the scenario right now. What side character's non-fighter is your fave? What?
Side characters non-fighter?
Do you mean like, oh, like an NPC?
My favorite NPC character is me, who you can read in Justin's comics, actually. I show up frequently as an NPC in Justin's comics.
A character...
Detective Duel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Don is my favorite NPC. I don't know, that's something I'd have to think about because I'd be like, oh, I forgot this obvious one or something. That's not something I can ask, that I can answer off the cuff like that. I'm sorry. Let's see. Garland feels like cheating because he's almost an actual character. I always forget that Garland isn't an actual character.
Oh yeah, I forget that too. I thought they were an actual character.
Yeah.
Why aren't they an actual character? Just submit them.
They deleted me from the website. I'm not real anymore.
This is true. Dawn is a fake. They're an imposter. They're actually like little bits of like spam that we found around the website and just like smushed together.
Yeah.
Made a little doll.
So fucking
Oh, hello?
Come at me, bro! Come at me!
hate you, doll.
It confused the shit out of me. Oh my god.
A voice from beyond.
I was like, where'd that come from? I'm so scared.
A voice from the beyond.
Spam merged together. Oh my god. I've had enough of Will. Yeah, me too. I've had enough of
Too
Will.
bad, I'm still here! It's been over like a decade now and I'm still here. Oh god, someone put me out of my misery.
Oh my god. Will and I live, like, reasonably close to each other. So I feel like the next time that, we're doing this and it's not like a plague, you should come over and we can have like in real life, staff anime. And you could just be right here and I can just be like punching you constantly.
You just want me so you can attack me physically.
I've deleted you once. I have the power to remove you from the site. I accidentally deleted Pyrus from the site once.
Accidentally. That's what they're claiming. They accidentally deleted all these people.
I've never had so much adrenaline rush into my body. I was so mortified. I thought I was going to actually... I think I did actually cry. I was so upset. I was just trying to delete, like, mass delete bot accounts because we just had like so many, and I tried to like go to like page 2, but it kind of reset, and then there was just like normal members on there, and right as I hit delete, like yes I want to delete, I noticed that Pyrus was on there, and I was like, oh my god, and like all of his comics were still there, but there was just no evidence of him ever existing, and my flight or fight response was activated so hard. And I panicked, and I was like, Bobo, I messed up so bad. I deleted Pyrus. He's gone. He's dead.
Don's bot, though. Don is bot. Delete them.
So this is why we don't give a lot of, like, super access to the site, is because it's so easy to just mess up so badly. I think Toast also did something similar. I think that he set all comics that had ever existed to like being... So there's like different statuses that the comic can be, like, drawing, or like when it's past due is when we like have to post it, or like voting. Toast accidentally set every comic that ever existed to like needs to be posted or something. And it was me and Heather went through for like hours just setting each comic that ever existed to like its appropriate status. And we would just do that for hours, and it was one of the worst things ever. Manually? Yeah, for a lot of them it was manually. I think he was able to kind of bulk reverse it, but we did have to do it for like thousands of comics. But it's
Yeah, it's
okay.
unfortunate.
So yeah, so even Toast, the person that like made the site, can mess up really badly. So he did that. I deleted Pyrus's actual existence. But now that we have Bobo, Bobo did a lot of really smart things, and that's why we should appreciate them a lot. So now,
So I'll be super thankful to Bobo. Bobo has backed up the site, because we did have a great crash of Void back in the day, where the website crashed, and there are comics that we have never ever been able to recover.
Yeah.
So thank you, Bobo, for making our site crash-proof now.
Yeah, a lot of my older comics, I think even the one that I drew against Cozy is just like deleted from existence forever, and like I don't even have a backup because like I don't even have that computer anymore. Like it's just gone. So yes, we love and appreciate Bobo. So yeah, basically when I deleted Pyrus, Bobo was basically able to just roll the site back and restore my huge mess up. So it really wasn't that bad. But yeah, Pyrus was gone from existence for a while. But I feel really called out and appreciated at the same time. Well, we do appreciate you a lot. I think that the site would probably suck a lot more if we didn't have Bobo. No, it would definitely suck a lot more if we didn't have Bobo. Also, while we're calling each other out,
Justin never did any of that. So Justin, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, we can call Justin out. I think there was like when we were trying to make the newest iteration of the site, like how it looks now, like I did a lot of like CSS coding for that, and I think like Bobo erased like hours of work or something that I did, Like we were like accidentally working on the same thing. And then Bo was like, "Oh shit, I deleted everything you did." And I think I cried a little bit, but it's okay.
It's like, yeah, I've never fucked up.
Uh,
It's true. Justin is perfect. I'm sorry, Justin. Forgive
it's
me.
okay. All is forgiven. I actually forgot about that. It's okay. Bobo probably recoded it to be better than what I had originally done in the first place. The void existence crying a little every now and then. That's extremely accurate. But it's okay. We put in the work because for some reason we like it here. But yeah.
Do we like it here? Like, is that true? I feel like we're chained here. We're just trapped here. This is like a horror movie where like we're just trapped in the same room. So even though we think we're leaving the room, we just come into the same replica of it. That's void.
Yeah, that's okay though. It be like that. Alright, I feel like now that we're really devolving into calling each other out on the dumb shit that we've done in the past and like the things that we've deleted on the site, I think we're probably winding down to the end
I'm
here.
amazing.
So, if anyone has any quick, serious questions that we can answer real quick,
Serious
Void
questions.
Cube, yes. I think if nobody else has anything, then I'll probably go and cry to myself in my corner here.
This has been the William Duel and Red show. We should have like a little theme song, like da 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 da.
Yeah, great. That was wonderful, Will. Do you think
I tried.
comic bleeds are needed? Wait, do you think comic bleeds are needed in modern Void comics? We need
No.
like borders? Oh, like a white border around the whole thing?
Probably talk about the gutters.
Yeah, like I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. I think it looks nice. I think it's like kind of a personal preference though, but like I kind of like it. Like if it's done right, I think it looks really clean and polished, but I don't think it's necessary, but it just depends
Different
on your
people
style,
have different.
I think.
Yeah, different people have different styles that make it work. I would say a lot of people who choose not to do not.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put that out there. Keep using gutters.
The entire comic page prints onto the screen just fine. There's no bleed. Oh, yeah. No, I think they were talking about like an actual border around the image, Bobo. Bleed is only really important for print. I would hate a site using the... Okay, maybe I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but...
I think we should just end it here. I think we're way past.
Yeah, if you're talking about gutters, that's personal preference. If it's like actual bleeding for print, then that's unnecessary. I guess that would answer your question. All right. Oh yeah, the last thing I want to say is we intentionally skipped last month because we didn't really have like that many questions, and it was also like a really stressful time for a lot of us, and it just like it wasn't working out, so we decided to just skip that month. So initially we did say we were going to do this every single month, which I'm totally fine with, but now actually now that we've been doing it for a couple months, I think maybe doing it every other month might be better. So we might...
I'll let you guys have more questions for us. So
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have questions, I'm always like down to answer it. I just like, we want to have like a good little stockpile of questions, I guess. So we might do one in December if it feels right, but it might be a case that we're just gonna intentionally skip it. It's not through like laziness or an unwillingness to do it or anything like that. It's just like October just like wasn't really in the cards, and we didn't really have anything to like talk about. So yeah, but you can always ask those questions directly in the staff for help. Blah blah blah. I'm can't words anymore, so
who knows? The next anime may just be me talking for 2 hours about me, the William Duel show,
oh my
starring
God.
William Duel.
No, well, no. All right, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I think I'm gonna go cry now. So thank you for coming. And if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to ask and we can answer it. And I'll come back to this a little bit later after I chilled for a little bit. I don't know. I don't usually talk too much with my hands, but I feel like when I get on a stream, then I start going like this.
Just trying to clear out your chakra, clean out the negative energy.
Yes. All right. I'm disconnecting. Bye-bye.
Signing off.